I, Toastmaster Rajdeep, the Surgeon at Arms for today's session. And on behalf of District 126, would love to welcome you on for the episode 1 of PR Masterclass. I would love to start the session by stating the district's mission. We build clubs and help all the clubs in achieving excellence. Now, before we move ahead, there are some few rules we need to be following throughout this session. The number one being, please keep yourself on mute unless asked by your beautiful moderator. Then, please try to keep your videos on for as long as possible for an interactive session. However, if you are moving from here to there, please, before doing so, turn off your cameras. Use the chat option wisely. Ask questions regarding brand guidelines and designing only. The fourth, which is one of the most important, so that we can have your attention. Keep your noise-making devices on mute. Lastly, please rename yourself according to the naming convention provided. All the VPPRs, please rename yourself according to VPPR underscore your name underscore your club name. And the people apart from VPPRs, please rename yourself as your name underscore club name. I will provide the naming convention in the chat as well. Now, I invite our District Public Relation Manager onto this virtual stage. Our DPRM, Distinguished Toastmaster Mayuri Asudani, has been a Toastmaster since 2017. She has served the district as Area Director. She has served as Division Director and District Chief Judge as well. Well, Mayuri calls herself a quick learner and is fascinated about Canva, just like many of us here. Thereby, I hand over the stage to Distinguished Toastmaster Mayuri.
Thank you so much, Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Rajdeep. Hello, good evening, welcome, namaste, and a hearty welcome to all members present on this virtual platform. Welcome to District 126 and welcome to the very first episode of PR Masterclass. So when I became the District Public Relations Manager, a lot of members came forward and said, Mayuri, we need to know more about brand. So with the word brand, we have our Bible, of course, the brand guidelines, the manual that we have. But then there are so many nuances that we have to adhere to and we have to respect the fonts, the colors, the logo, the placement, what to use, what not to use. And it's a little overwhelming for me, but then for my members too. So well, the members requested for a class on Canva designing, and that's why we responded. Because as said Paul Rand, design is aesthetics, design can be art, design can be so simple, and that's why it's so complicated. Well, we have someone who's going to simplify all of this for us today. I have noticed that we have a certain amount of officers of the District 126 in the room, and I acknowledge and warmly welcome each one of you to this platform. We also have members from across the globe today. So we have Toastmasters from other districts as well, and I extend a very warm welcome to them too. And on that note, I would like to now invite the moderator who's going to be with you for the rest of the evening. Now, this is a very young, very new Toastmaster, but once she sets her heart to it, there's no stopping her. She has already served as Vice President Public Relations and as a president of her club. When not working with Toastmasters, she loves to do podcasts. She loves to take photography. I will not take up more limelight. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Sonal, your moderator for today. Over to you, Toastmaster Sonal.
Thank you so much, Distinguished Toastmaster Mayuri, and a warm welcome to all of you who are attending our meeting today. I'm very sure that you are going to learn a lot of things. You are going to have a lot of takeaways, so stay tuned for that. But we won't jump to that just yet. There's an icebreaker session, a logo quiz. We cannot go into designing without learning about the logos. So what I'm going to do is I'll share my screen and you'll have to guess the logos. Whoever guesses each logo first will get a gift, and that is a clap from all of us. So that is the gift. All right. Let me know when you can see my screen. Is it visible? All right, cool. Here comes the first logo, and trust me, all of these are very easy.
National Geographic.
Yes, whoever said that. And if you are answering, we would love to know your name as well. So
I'm Pradeep from Tata Steel Toastmasters Group.
thank you, Pradeep. Moving on to the next one.
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
Yes. All right. Next one.
Rolex.
Rolex.
I really wish I had a Rolex watch, but you guessed it right. As of now, I am wearing a 200 watch from Mintra.
Internet Explorer.
Internet Explorer.
Our dear departed Internet Explorer. And last but not least,
Canvas.
for what we have gathered here. So I am not going to take a lot of time. We have with us our very dynamic trainer, someone who has been a part of Toastmasters since the last 4 years and considers Toastmasters to be his safe space where there's no judgment at all and where there's always upliftment of each other. He has served as Area N1 Director, as the VPPR, and the President of his club, Gurukul Educational Toastmasters Club. He is currently pursuing his master's in user experience, user research, and user interface design from JLU Bhopal. Please give a huge round of applause for our trainer, Toastmaster Yash Banarsi.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Solon, the moderator for today's session. And thank you so much to the DPRM, Distinguished Toastmaster Mayuri ma'am, for giving me this opportunity to uh, share my little knowledge of design with you all today. So, hello everyone. I'm Toastmaster Yash, and as introduced by our moderator, I'm pursuing my master's in designing, user interface design, user experience, and user research, and that's the long part of that. But today I'm here to share with you some of my key design knowledge, the little bit of design knowledge that I have, which I've learned over the years. So, firstly, I started it off from BBA. I hold a bachelor's degree in finance, bachelor's of business administration, majoring in strategic finance, and then I suddenly shifted towards designing background. Why so? Because after a lot of thinking, after a lot of research, after a lot of introspection, I realized that finance is not my friend. I can't do it. So it was just like a calling for me to get introduced to the design world, and eventually Toastmasters helped me in this journey because when I served my club as an officer of the VPPR, the Vice President Public Relations, I realized that I'm not only good in design, but also like I can teach some of them also like how to be a good designer. So one of the key difference that I learned is that you can be a good artist, but you can also be a good designer. One of the major thing that differentiates an artist from a designer is that an artist creates art which is for themselves, which is which can be interpreted in many ways. But a designer designs for the people, for the users, in a such way that whenever someone sees a good design, they are uh, they are quick to know that what is it all about. It is, but there's a one saying in the design world which says that a good design is invisible. Whenever you see a good design, you are not seeing the key aspect like why is it like this shape. For example, if you see a Coke bottle, why is it like it has a curve on the side of the bottle? It's like it's oval on the outside. Why is it that? So there's a lot of research that goes on that front of the design, but it is said that a good design is always invisible. For example, if you are on your laptops or your computers right now, you are holding a mouse. The design of a mouse is in such a way that it fits in your palm. So in that way as well, whenever you design something at be it a poster or a template or something which is in the context of Toastmasters, you design it in such a way that whenever someone from the outside world of Toastmaster and an outsider sees it, they get to know that yes, this is related to Toastmasters, and this is all they are talking about, and they are doing such and such things. Now, how can we achieve this? We'll see this in today's session. Let me share my screen for this. Let me know if you can see my screen. Yep. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So the one thing that we at Toastmasters follow, like a Bible, you can say, as said by earlier by DPRM Distinguished Toastmaster Mayuri, is the brand manual. So the brand manual here states like what all the things a Toastmaster should do. Like when you are a Toastmaster, you are the brand ambassador of this organization. So there are certain core values, the brand promise, the tagline of Toastmaster, and how a Toastmaster should have their personality, their voice and tone. So that's just the front of the being a Toastmaster. So today we will going to talk about the visual guidelines of Toastmasters. So what all comes under visual guidelines? The colors that you're going to use, the typeface, the fonts that you're going to use, how to use the logo properly, what logo to use properly, which logo to use properly, and general things about the visual guidelines front. So firstly, we'll see about the logo. According to the brand manual, the logo. So this is the one of the logo, the famous globe logo of Toastmasters, which can be used in three types, which is the full color, the grayscale, and white. And these all things are available on the Toastmasters website. If you can see here, it's a link mentioned that toastmasters.org/logo. So you can visit this and download the logos. Now, how to go on to use the logos? Now, whenever there are certain posters which we have seen earlier or in the past, which is in which the logo is at the top, touching the edge, or there is not enough clear space for the logo. So, why the clear space is required for any logo, be it Toastmasters logo or any of the brand's logo? So, one of the key aspect of the logo is for the brand identity. So, the brand identity is defined by the logo. Like we have a face, we have certain characteristics to our face. So for a brand, for an organization, the logo acts as the face of the company, the organization. So having a clear space around it differentiates it from all the other content of the poster or the design. So for the in context to Toastmasters, we can see here is that whenever we use the logo, the Toastmasters logo, we should have a clear space around it. Now, how can we measure that clear space? The height of the word mark, which is their Toastmasters International. Just being the approximate height of it, you can leave the clear space around it and place all your content on the poster or on the collaterals that we need to print or we need to design. Similar is the case with the full color logo, the logo word mark. So being the keeping the clear space around the height of the word mark around the logo, which will define it to stand out properly on the design. Similar is the case with the lockup logo as well. And what not to do with the logos, what to do and what not to do. So you can write like the District 99, or you can just create a tagline, but keeping in mind the clear space below the logo. And what not to do is that don't change the perspective of the logo. So in past we have seen design like whenever people create certain designs on Photoshop, it allows us to change the perspective of the image. So many people just for the aesthetics of it just change the perspective of the logo to the left or to the right, which is against the brand manual, against the brand. Don't scale the logo disappropriately, because it will again change the identity of it. The proportions of the logo, the do not remove any elements from the logo or customize it according to the club or to the district, because Toastmasters International doesn't allow for any club or any district to have their own logo. Don't change the colors of the logo, even though they are in the brand colors. Like here, you can see they're in the allowed gradient of the maroon, but it is not allowed. Don't put the logo on the colors that are in the brand color palette. So we'll see what is the brand color palette. Don't use any copy slogans, symbols, or images overlapping the logo. So the copy is the text which is written above the logo. Don't add unnecessary copies of the slogans or the symbols overlapping the logo. And don't put any pattern glow behind the logo. So if it's a glowing logo or a grainy one giving certain effects to the logo, it just hinders with the brand identity of Toastmasters International. So here is the color palette for the for Toastmaster International. As you can see, these are the three primary colors: the true maroon, the loyal blue, and the cool gray. The hexadecimal codes, the CMYK, the RGB, and the Pantones are also mentioned here. And the accent color for us is happy yellow. And again, the all the hexadecimal CMYK, RGB, and Pantones are mentioned. These colors are curated keeping in mind the brand identity of Toastmasters, the core values of Toastmasters, because these colors reflect those characteristics in themselves. Now, there are certain gradients which are allowed by Toastmaster International. So, as you can see, we have a loyal blue gradient, true maroon gradient, and a cool gray gradient as well. Just to mention one thing is that for the blue gradient, there is a certain color called as blissful blue. The hexadecimal code is mentioned here. For the maroon, deep maroon and rich maroon, and for cool gray, the cool gray and the fair gray. So whenever we use these colors, make sure that whenever using it, use it in the context of the gradient. Apart from that gradient, you cannot use these colors. Like you can use the primary colors in the solids whenever you want, but if on the gradient, use only these colors. And don't mix two gradients in one. We have seen people do like they put one half of the gradient as the loyal blue, other as the rich maroon. So it creates a color, certain color which is similar to purple shade. The purple is not allowed in Toastmasters in the primary colors. So it just hinders with the brand identity of Toastmasters. Now, there's a certain thing called as transparencies, which is allowed by Toastmasters International. So if you're using any gradient and you want a certain element to be highlighted on it, we can use it on the white source. We can place a white element on it and make its opacity to 70, which again translate to transparencies to 30. So if it is 70% opaque, it is 30% transparent, which should equals to 100%. We can use the white swatch over the gradient, and not to mention is that we can use transparencies only over the gradients allowed, not over the solid colors. Now, as the Toastmasters logo is there, there's also one logo for the pathways. So just clear space around it. It's just similar to the Toastmasters International logo. And for just a clear space, we can use the height of the pathways word mark, and uh, taking an appropriate measure, we can place it and create a clear space around it. There are certain pathways badges, all the 11 pathways badges which are there. You can access it in the logo section. Now, coming to the fonts, the typography and the typeface of the brand. So the allowed typeface which is there in the brand manual is Gotham for the heading and subheads, and Myriad Pro for the body copy of the collateral. So as you can see, these are the fonts which is there. So when we use Canva, these are some of the paid fonts. While we use Canva, we can use their alternative, which is Montserrat for Gotham, which is mentioned here, the free alternative. If you can access the brand manual, here is also the link to download the same for the if you want to use it on your PC. It's already there present on Canva. And for the Myriad Pro for the body collateral, you can use Source Sans Pro, which is also present on the Canva link. Now, why these fonts are used, the specific Gotham or Montserrat or Myriad Pro and Sansource, is because it's that again coming to the brand identity front of the Toastmasters, because it says Toastmasters helps you build confidence, helps you stand out from the crowd. So these fonts also reflects those characteristics in them. As you can see, the Gotham font, the ultra black bold. You can see it's like standing and looking stiff and digitalized, so that it reflects the identity of Toastmasters. Similar is the case with Myriad Pro and Source Sans. Coming to images and photography front, so the photography whichever we are going to use in the Toastmaster environment, in that people should look engaged, empowered, supported, and it should convey a environment of meetings, presentations, speeches, networking, etc. So many a times we see that people use imagery which is in line with the theme of the meeting, but not um, allowed or allowed by the brand manual. So if the theme is related to food, people put the photographs of dishes and street food, etc., which is not allowed in Toastmasters International. Because as mentioned here, please do not use cartoons, illustrations, clip art, materials created by for the club's areas, divisions, and districts. So these brand manuals are only limited towards the regional part till region 13, as we are in the region 13. Beyond that, there are certain set of different brand guidelines, which is there for Toastmasters International office. There is an array of images which we can use. The link for this is also present here in the brand manual. You can download those photographs and use it in your collaterals. If you don't want to use the photographs provided by the Toastmasters International, you can use the photographs which are there for your meetings. If your club has had a certain meeting in person or online or hybrid mode, you can click photographs and use it in your collaterals so that it reflects a Toastmasters environment. Now, similar is the case with logo placement, like as mentioned earlier. And there are certain list of resources which you can get. Now, coming to the main part of our session, which is designing on Canva. So the first and foremost thing as a designer that I like to highlight is that whenever we design, we should keep in mind the visual hierarchy. Now, what is visual hierarchy? As you can see, you will read this word first, and then you will read this line. You'll probably read this before the paragraph, and then you'll go to read on the paragraph. And that at some point of time, you may come back and read this line. So whenever we are designing any collateral, make sure that whatever is the core message that you want to convey from a poster or from a design should be highlighted properly. As you can see here, I have created a certain poster for you. Here you can see the theme of the meeting is taking the most of the part with context to the clip art, which is provided by Toastmasters International. So the images or the clip art that we are going to use should be in line with the theme also, because it also helps us to convey it more directly. If you want to get access to all these icons, you can use the PR toolkit, which is provided by District 126. The link has been shared with the fellow VPPRs over their respective WhatsApp group. If not, you can ask your respective district officers, area directors to provide you with the same. So here for in the PR toolkit, it is mentioned like all the things, all the important links that you will need, the fonts which you are going to use. Each and every font is present for the headlines and for the body copy or collateral. The brand colors with the hex code also present here. How to use the gradients is also present. Also the elements, certain elements which we are going to use for the gradients. How to use transparencies. All the logos, you can just copy and paste it from here. The wordmark logo, the lockup logo, the pathways logo, Gavel's club logo, pathways badges, pathways levels, and the social media icons, which are also present here. It also has the icon pack, which is provided by Toastmasters International. So you can use these icons in your design, in your collaterals, whenever you want to create it. You can just click here, copy it, and paste it on your design, and you're good to go on that one. Now, what are not allowed here? The curved lines, the brush strokes and patches, irregular shapes and patterns, illustrations and clip arts, and all these certain shapes like in organic shapes, which are also present, which are not allowed according to the brand manual of Toastmasters International. Okay, so here we are going to do a small thing. I would like everyone to open your Canva from the browser, and we are going to design a poster right here, right now. So just give a thumbs up to me whenever you are ready. I'll just check the chat box quickly. What is accent color? Where can it be used? All right, good question. Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Ajay, for this question. So accent color is a color which is, so there is a thing in designing called like the 60-30-10 ratio. 60% is the main color, 30 is the secondary color, and 10% is the accent color. So whenever we are creating a design, we at Toastmasters, in the context of Toastmaster, yellow, the happy yellow is the accent color. So whenever using that color, make sure it doesn't exceed 10% of the design. So it cannot be used in the majority, like in the full background or in certain element which is too big on the poster or the collateral. Make sure you use the yellow color just to highlight certain points. As you can see here in the second poster, your network is your network. I've used the accent color just to highlight the keywords of the poster. Network and network, just I want to emphasize on meeting number, the network, and all the text in the theme. So you can use these type of the accent color just to highlight certain things in your design. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mayuri, for sharing the link to the PR toolkit. So VPPRs and all the others can access the PR toolkit. You can just click on it and click on the use template, make a copy of it on your Canva account, and we are good to go on this. Okay, so I think everyone has opened their Canva account. Okay, just create a design and select. Okay, we'll go from scratch. One second. Okay, just click on create design and use the Instagram post, the square template. Okay. All right. So now I need your help, each and everyone's help. In the chat box, just quickly mention what theme should we create. And don't mention your meeting theme so that you can get a template ready for it on the go. Come on, any theme that comes to your mind. Okay, MOT, let there be change. Nice. World Photography Day. Interesting. Well, let's get 5 to 6 more suggestions and then we'll select one. Independence Day. Independence Day, tough choice. Okay. Children's Day, PR Masterclass. Okay. So let's go with, what do you guys think? What should we go with? We have MOT, Let There Be Change, World Photography Day, Independence Day, Children's Day, and PR Masterclass. Mosquito Day. Is there a certain thing what is Mosquito Day? Today is, oh my God. Okay. All right, let's go with the theme Independence Day because it's tough to create certain poster which is related to the national holidays. Okay, so let's go with Independence Day for this one. So we are going to use the PR toolkit. So I'll show you how you can use the PR toolkit and get going with your designs. So for this, we will firstly need a logo, the Toastmasters logo for this. So we'll just scroll down to the logos front. We'll select one logo. Let's say we choose this wordmark logo. I'll just hit Control C over here, go to my design and hit Control V. I just copied it and pasted it in my design. If you want to see the how to get clear space around it, you can just select the logo and press Alt. So here you can see the pixels from the edge of the post. So you can check like if is it properly there or not. So you can just scale down the logo if you want to. And let me check it 160, 65. Okay, we are good to go. As you can see, the height here, the height the 65 and the from this end is also 65. So it is equivalent to it. Now what I'll do is I added our club's name. So I'll just hit T on my keyboard and the Canva will give me a text box here. You can scale it as per your requirement and just type ABC speakers and copy it and write Toastmasters Club. Okay. We'll select it and make it for the appropriate font, which is Montserrat. You can just type it and you can get all the fonts of the typeface Montserrat. So we are going to use this one. And what I do most of the time is that I scale it down to the width of the majority of the name of the logo, and then I'll just place it here. And one thing good about Canva is that it also provides you the guide, so you can see that it is in the middle of the logo. As you can see, there's a pink line which is in the middle, and again by pressing Alt, you can see that if it's properly placed or not. One little hack I do is that I just select it all and hit with the guide and make it to the center of the page. Okay. So now the theme, our meeting theme is Independence Day. So we'll just quickly go to the icons pack and see like which icon will reflect the part of the Independence Day. There are 3 to 4 pages of icons which are present in the PR toolkit. You can check with it. You can see like what all the icons which are there, which is which is in line with your theme. So it becomes a bit difficult to sometimes select the icon. Also, when you're on a live session, it gives you a little bit of performance pressure also. Think we can use Independence Day, independence, which reflect independence. Let's say for the sake of the poster, let's go with this one. I'll just hit Control C and Control V here on the icon. I just scale it. And whenever I use the icon, I make sure that because it comes with this circle with it, because it's an image. So what I do is that I just double click on it and crop it. So if you double click on the image, all the part is grayed out and only image is visible. So you can crop it. So I just quickly crop the logo, the icon, just to remove the circle around it. Hit enter, and then you can have your icon with you. Yep. Now, one thing to keep in mind while designing is that we are designing for other people and not for yourself. And study has shown us in designing is that whenever people read, they read it from left to right. They usually don't read; they just scan the poster in an F pattern. So when you are pasting, when you are putting any type of content on your poster, text content, make sure it's from left to right, because people usually read it in an F pattern or a Z pattern. So let's put our text here. Our theme is, one second, Independence Day. So you can scale it. And what I do sometimes is that using this tool, I just lower down the line spacing, just so that it looks not, it doesn't look like they're disconnected from each other, because people usually tend to read it in one go. Independence Day, or we can also like 75th Independence Day. If you want to highlight on a certain part, you can just select it and hit Control B to make it bold, or also you can change its color just to highlight it. If you go to the PR toolkit, you can see the hexadecimal code which is there for the colors. So I want to use true maroon, so it's this. I can just hit Control C here and just paste it over here, and I'll get the color for the same 75th Independence Day by, we can write the name of the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster John Doe. So John Doe is just like a placeholder name. You can scale it. If you want to highlight it, you can do the same thing. You can just select it, hit Control B, and change the color if you want to. Now here it's been highlighted according to the visual hierarchy, the icon and the title is being highlighted. But if you want to convey something like the date, time, and venue, or it's an online meeting, a hybrid meeting, or an in-person meeting, if we'll place it in this place, it will not get the notice that it want to. So to do this, first I'll just show you like how we'll add it. So let's say it's 20th 8 2022. One second. The time, let's say 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Let's just keep it here and just copy it. And let's say it's an online meet. So Zoom ID. Okay. Now the same thing that I did for this, the club name of the club, I'll do it in the similar manner. I'll just scale it and connect it to the width of the upper text. And to highlight it in a proper way, we can use this trick which I use. If you press R on your keyboard, you will get a rectangle on Canva. Just place it behind it appropriately with proper spacing. Just make sure that it is visible properly and change its color. And according to it, change the color of the typeface also. And if you want, you can select all and scale it accordingly so that just it looks nice. After that, you can also adjust all your images if you want to, or the clippers that you want to adjust. And then again, we'll add another text over here. One second. Contact window VP membership. Okay, this is a placeholder text. So accordingly, according to your design, you can just scale it down, change the orientation of it. Usually what I do is like place it on the below, just keeping in line with the guides of the page. And then after that, what we can do is to create a call to action. You can go down in the PR toolkit, use the Instagram, if you have an Instagram page or a Facebook page, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, whichever you have, you can use it. So for this, I use Instagram and Facebook. I just copied it and pasted in my design. You can select it, you can choose this option and change the color. And I'll just zoom in a little bit so that you can see properly. Scale it down. You can add your club's ID over here, the Instagram ID. Select it and just place it over here. You can also change the color to match the icon. And similar is the case with this one as well. Scale it down. So I just make sure is that by placing it one after the other, I just see that the height of it is proper. Select it, create the same. You can also change its color over here. So as you can see, it's like touching the edge of the design. So what I'll do, I'll just quickly select it and scale it down a bit. And then we can place it over here. So it creates a call to action so that whenever people see it, they can see like the club has a presence over social media and they can connect over. All right. So we create another one by using the gradients. So if you want to use gradient, if you don't, so first trick is that to go to the element and just search gradient over here. In the graphics part, you can see there are tons of gradients which you can use, but use the allowed colors in the gradient only. As you can see, this one is the square gradient. So if we use it, we can scale it up to the page. And if we want to change the color of it, we can go over here, change the color. You can anytime refer to the PR toolkit to check the colors. So this is the loyal blue and the blissful blue. So here I'll just go it and copy the hexadecimal code for this color, the first one, and paste it over here. And the second one, I'll just quickly copy it and hit Control V and paste it over here. So there you'll get the gradient. Another thing which you can do is that you can see the gradient backgrounds over here. You can just select anyone, hit Control C, copy it, and then you can paste it on your page. And then you can scale it accordingly. If you don't find your gradient of choice in the elements, you can just quickly copy it and paste it from the PR toolkit also. So 30 minutes are up. Okay, thank you so much, Gauri. So just for quickly saving the time, I have created a one here as you can see earlier. So here also, as you can see, the visual hierarchy is being followed. Like the icon which is used is in line with the theme. Your network is your net worth. And to create a call to action, so I assumed it's an in-person meeting. So to create a call to action, I created a rectangle over here and then pasted the date, time, and the venue over here. And for the level completion also, like if any member completes a level, you can use the visual hierarchy here as well. So for this, the visual hierarchy will be the photograph of the member, the name, the level, and the path. So you can create it, you can use the accent color to highlight it, and then we are good to go on that front. I'll just quickly open the chat box and see if we have any queries. Was the shortcut to get the text? Okay, so if you hit T on your keyboard, you'll get the text box and then you can scale it accordingly. Okay, 1 second. Is there any shortcut to select multiple images or text in Canva? Okay, so if you select this text and then you can click shift and then keep on selecting all the other elements which you want to select. You can group multiple things together by, yep, Control G. Yep, you can use Control G. As you can see here, this is the group. So if you select this and this, hit Control G, you can group the element. My version does not show a ribbon with commands and numbers. Is this the pro version only? No, Ronald, it's the free version. And can we get a clarification like what the ribbons with the commands number are? Commands and numbers. We'll get to that front. Okay. Okay, so as asked earlier, you have, I hope that each and everyone have opened their Canva and created certain posters for the same. So I'll just quickly stop share here and I will ask if anyone is ready to share their design with us on the screen. So we can give you quick feedback on that as well. You can just unmute yourself and ask, or you can also raise your hand and ask.
Toastmaster Yash, I am in the middle of it. I'm a bit slow, not as fast as you are, but it's in progress. I
No
understood
worries.
though.
No worries, no worries. So whenever you're ready, you can share your design with us. Or if you have any previous design which you have created, you want any feedback on that, you can also share it and we'll provide you the same.
Yes, can I share my screen? I
Yes,
have designed
yes,
one
please.
poster.
Yes, please, Toastmaster, go ahead. Request the Master to share.
So this
Okay.
is for one of the new members who joined the club recently.
Mm-hmm.
I designed this afternoon only. Are you able to see my screen?
Yep, it's visible.
Okay. So this is the poster I created.
Yep.
Simple one, not as artistic as you, but yeah, the
So
font
that's
and
the thing, like how the simpler the design, the more appealing it is.
sorry, I didn't get you.
The more simple the design, the more appealing it is.
Okay. Yeah. Any comments on this, please? Any feedback?
Can you go full screen, please?
Full screen. How to do that?
The arrow, which is the two arrows pointing in opposite direction, below, behind the,
Okay. Okay.
beside the side. Yep. Yep. Yeah, I think it's Toastmaster is very nice. The design is very simple, and it also uh, passes on the message that they want to that the club wants to convey, like to meet a new member, Toastmaster Rajesh. So just one thing I would like to mention is that whenever we are using the text in the body, make sure that you use the typeface, the Source Sans Pro,
Okay. Okay.
because the Montserrat is only for the heading and the subheads.
Okay.
Use Source Sans Pro or MyRed Pro. Otherwise, the design visually it is very good. It makes sure the brand manual is followed properly. The colors are the colors are nice, and because it's all one color, it creates a symmetry, a visual symmetry to the design as well.
Okay.
Just one feedback, just to change the typeface,
Yeah.
the font of the body. Rest is very good.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm stop the sharing.
Sure.
Hello, Toastmaster Yash.
Yes, Toastmaster Vaidhi.
Yes, can I share?
Surely, please go
I
ahead.
I want some suggestions that how could I improve it and all. Just a minute.
Surely.
I'm sharing.
In the meantime, I'm Pradeep.
Yes,
Just
Vaidhi.
after she shares the screen, could you show us how to add gradients to the screen in the Canva?
Surely, we'll do that.
Thank you.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, Vaidhi, it's visible.
Yes. So this was a poster that I created
Mm-hmm.
for my previous meet. And as you suggested about the Montserrat as a font that is used for only heading.
Mm-hmm.
So I came to know this for the very first time. So I want your suggestion for this posters also. Like,
Okay. Vaidhi, as you can see, if you use the wordmark logo of Toastmasters, so the clear space above it, because the logo is big, the clear space above it is less than the height of the word mark. So make sure that you just, if possible, you can scale down a logo a bit, just make it a bit small, or you can just put it down and increase the clear space above it. Second is that the name of the club is taking too much highlight over here, so you can just scale it down. 64th meet, Toastmaster Day, Toastmaster Devanshu, Beauty of India. So here, for all the people also, as you can see in this design, the Beauty of India, which is written over here, they have used the certain thing called as the effects, which is present on Canva. So whenever you're using any effects on Canva, make sure that you don't overdo it, because here it is done in a very nice manner. The drop shadow which is used on the text, the beauty of India, is very good. Usually people do is that they just scale it to the max, and it becomes gray behind it, and we are not able to recognize it properly. And the colors also get distorted, which again hinders with the brand guidelines. Rest is good. The beauty of India. If only thing which I can see is that if you can align the text towards the left, that will be great to read for the for other people also. The August 9th and the time of the meeting is too much short, because this is not getting any attention. So if any of the member is going to check the poster for the time and minute, they're going to hunt it down for it. So make sure that if you are using the time, date, and the Google Meet, whenever it is, like Zoom or Google Meet, whatever it is, you can just create so in a certain way to make it small, but making it a certain way that it get highlighted. For instance, I usually use a box behind it just to make it look like a button and highlight it properly. So you can do that. Rest is good. The social media credentials is also mentioned, and the shapes that I use, which are geometric shapes, which are allowed by Toastmasters International, and the colors as well.
thank you.
You're welcome, Vedhi. And answering the question of Toastmaster Pradeep, I'll just quickly show you how we can add gradient. I'll just share the screen. So if you go, you can share my see my screen, right? Anybody can give confirmation.
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay. Okay, so if you can look here, here's the tab for the elements. Click on it and then search gradient. So in my recent search history, it shows the gradient because I searched it. You can just type the gradient and go to the graphics tab. And here you can see the all the gradients which you can use. I usually use this one because it's a solid one and not a translucent one. And just quickly scale it out as per the page, and then change the colors of it from here, from this tab. What you can also do is that you can go to the design toolkit provided by District 126. You can copy any of the gradient by selecting it and hitting Control plus C, and then you can go to your design and hit Control and V, and then it get pasted, and then you can scale it out according to your design which you want to use.
While choosing gradients from the graphics tab
Mhm.
on the left side, we cannot do this from like centered border to center or right to left. It is just one thing we can do right there.
Can you repeat? I didn't got your question.
When we use the gradient as per the
Mhm.
guidelines that we have, the brand guidelines, then we
Mhm.
can use it from left to right or right to left or top to bottom, etc. like
Yeah,
that.
you
But
can use it in any manner. If you want
yeah,
to use it in background, you can use it. If you want to create it in certain manner, like you want to highlight it, highlight some text. Like I'll just show you. 1 second. So if it's any text, for example, this is the text. I'll just paste it over here, and it not getting the visibility properly. So what I can do is I can just quickly choose this, hit Control C, Control V, and just put it behind the text if you want to highlight it, just like this. Or you can also do is that you can just double click it and crop it according to the font, the typography, and then you can paste it just to create a highlight.
So in that design tool, PR toolkit that we have, do you have also the transparent formats that we can copy and paste directly?
Yep. We have this transparent swatches which we can use over the gradients. So make sure that whenever you're using the transparent swatches, you use it over the gradients only, not over any solid color.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll just check the chat box. Okay, so my time is up according to my timer. So I hope that you got to learn just the little bit of knowledge that I had for the Canva in the design front. I hope that it helps you in your design journey. And if you have any queries, you can contact me. I'll just share the contact details in the chat after the session. And if you have any queries, you can get in touch with me. You can email me, LinkedIn, Instagram, any of the social media. I'm up there. And I hope I answered all your queries. And I think we are good to go. Over to you, moderator.
Thank you so much, Yash. What a wonderful session it was. I'm very sure that all the VPPRs and everyone who is genuinely interested in designing will go home with a lot of learning today. If you still have a couple more questions that you felt shy to ask while the session was in progress, you can still ask us or you can type in the chat box. We'll be happy to take them. Yes, distinguished Toastmaster Mayuri.
Thanks, Yash. That was a super fast, session on Canva. And I know it takes a lot of time for all of us, or most of us, to sit down and actually use all those tips and tricks. So if you could just repeat very quickly the ones that you said, press Alt, what does it do? Press T, what does it do? Press R, what does it do? Because I was making a note of all of this. And I'm
Surely.
sure, yeah, just the shortcuts that you can reiterate, please.
Surely. Just 1 second. I'll just open a page and I'll show you quickly on that. Okay, your screen is visible?
Yes.
Okay. So if you want to add a text box, just hit T on your keyboard. And then you will have your text
Okay.
box over here.
Mhm.
If you want to add a square, a rectangle, press R, and then you'll get a rectangle.
Okay.
If you want to add circle, press C, you will get a circle. If you want to check the pixel space between two elements, just click on the element and press Alt. And then you can see the pixels, which the distance in pixels. If you want to copy one element to other page without hitting Control C or Control V, press Alt and drag the element, and then you'll copy it. The shortcut, like we all know that Control C and then Control V, and then you'll have another one.
Mhm.
And that's
And also, Yash, the effects that there was there was something with the special effects that
yes.
yeah. So if you could just use the tab and just
Yeah, sure,
help us
sure,
run
sure.
through quickly.
Yep. So here in the About tab, you can see the effects tab, which is there. Here you can see the shadow, lift, hollow, or if you want to add anything in the background. So I'll just quickly show you the splice part. So in the splice, you can add any of the color. For instance, I'll add a compliant color to it. And then we can scale it and see like it is being highlighted. So we are allowed to use this on Canva. Just make sure that you don't use any of the other colors apart from the brand manual or any of the colors which is present in the gradient. And then we're good to go on this front.
Right.
And if you want, you can also add this effect called as curve. So it will just curve your text and you can just simply use it. Just to create a bit more aesthetic to it. Add to a little bit aesthetic to it. That's it.
Okay, Yash, I have a question. Can we
Yep.
create a timestamp kind of a design, like circle may under may like a text timestamp. So can we do that in Canva?
Like a word cloud, I think you're asking.
Circle kind of a stamp.
Stamp
If you,
as in like
if
if
you
we.
see SS Rajamouli movies,
Okay,
maybe
okay. I got your idea. I
Stamp,
got your
stamp.
idea.
Yeah, the government stamp kind of a thing.
Yep,
correct,
like this one, right?
Circular ones.
So
Yeah.
you can add this and then just change the
correct.
color of it. Just like this, right?
Yes.
Yep, you can create it. Just make sure that it doesn't look like any of the illustration. That don't make it look like a stamp, like a proper stamp.
Thank you.
I definitely think that Canva is every designer's Hogwarts. Yeah, we have another question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Toastmaster Yash, can we use all the available effects over there on
Yeah,
Canva
we
with
can
the
use all.
compliant color?
Yes, as if like till then it's in the colors, the brand colors, we can use it. Just make sure you don't overdo it. Like for instance, I'll just show you. If we use this design and if we use the effect of lift, just make sure that you don't overdo it like this. So it just hinders with the colors. So this of the gray color is not allowed. If you're using lift, make sure that it's a less so that it's just there, but not don't overdo it. So just create another color in that. Yes, Toastmaster Gunjan.
Yes, I had one question that
Mhm.
we are just moving in the effects part. So there is one effect called as glitch effect.
Yep.
And in that glitch effect, there are certain colors which comes in the background like purple and pink that actually messes up with the text sometimes as
Exactly.
we are not in the compliant colors. And if the texts are big, the highlight also is very prominent to the eyes of the pink
Correct.
color and the purple color. So is this okay? Like you just put it up over here and there is a
Mhm.
pink hint of color over the text. So
Yep.
is that allowed?
So for initially, I also used to use it, but then again, I got a clarification from Toastmasters International that you can't use any of the other colors from other apart from brand manual. So I stopped using it. So make sure that whenever you're using any color which is going in the collateral, make sure that it's in the brand color also. So what I used to do is like if this is a glitch effect and I want to create a glitch effect, I'll just quickly use this text. One second. I'll make a copy of it, make any of the other color, and then just place it above it. And this is how I used to create a glitch effect. Just make sure that it's in the brand colors only. That's it.
Great. This helps a lot. Thanks, Yash.
Yep. Vamsi has a question: how to copy from one poster to another in the tab without adding previous poster there? One poster. So what you can do is you can just select all, copy it, and add it to the next page. That's it.
Yeah, yes. The thing is, when I'm using in tab,
Mhm.
sometimes it is not working. Not
In like
copying to
different
one.
Chrome tab.
Yes.
Okay. So
So for
usually
that,
what
what I
happens?
am doing is, upload. I create an empty page again, upload there from another poster, copying that
Mhm.
poster, and then dragging it. But
Okay.
sometimes it is becoming a huge headache for me to use in tab.
Okay, so
So
usually when I copy one from one tab to another tab, I make sure that I do it in this way and it gets copied. One thing I notice is that with Canva, it's caps lock sensitive. So if your caps lock is on, then you copy it, then paste it, not going to be pasted. So make sure your caps lock is off.
I will check that.
So the caps lock creates a lock on the copy and paste shortcuts. So just make sure that your caps lock is off and then copy it and paste it.
Hi, Toastmaster Yash. I have one
Yes.
question. So the
Yeah.
color that we are adding to text, that 75th, so 75th that you have highlighted in this color. So do we have to keep that in the brand guideline or else we can use any
No.
color for the particular
No.
headings or body?
So whatever color is going on any of the collateral of under the Toastmaster International or Toastmasters Club, make sure you use only the brand colors. Why the brand color is
Okay.
important is that because it creates an identity towards the brand. If you see a Coca-Cola can, if it's in green color, you're not going to buy it. You'll say it's a counterfeit. Similar is
Yes,
the
yes,
case with
understood.
Toastmasters.
Yeah.
All right, we are having a paucity of time, but I'm very sure a lot of you will be having more questions. Don't worry, we are always there to take more questions. You can always reach out to Yash. If he's not available, you can always, if you are in the VPPR group, you can always raise a question there. If you are a regular member of the club, you can always reach out to your VPPR and they can get us your questions. So we are always there to cover all your doubts. But now I would like to call on stage our DPRM, Distinguished Toastmaster Mayuri, to do a little felicitation. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sonal, the moderator, and a huge thank you to our trainer, Toastmaster Yash. I know this has been super short, and I'm sure everybody wants this to go on, episode 2, learning to design with Canva, maybe with images and more colors and gradients and more shapes and sizes, but then I know it would require one entire session. So yes, I'm sure Yash will come back to you once more. May I quickly request our Zoom Master Toastmaster Gunjan to please share the certificates so that we can felicitate every member who has contributed in making this happen today. Thank you, Toastmaster Yash, for being the trainer today and for helping all of us understand the finer but the simpler uses of designing on Canva. I'm sure we will need episode 2 where we learn to become even better at Canva the next time. But thank you so much for your time today, Yash.
Thank you for this wonderful opportunity and sharing the knowledge with all the members. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I would also like to thank, can we have the next slide, please? Yes. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rajdeep, for that super energetic beginning as the Sergeant at Arms today. Thank you for the time that you've been here today. Thank you so much. Thank you also to Toastmaster Gauri, who has been very diligently sending messages to our trainer telling him, we are running short on time, hurry up. So thank you, Toastmaster Gauri, for being there as the timers today. And thank you, Sonal. We love this quick logo questions that you had for us at the beginning. And I know we've been very quick, but thank you for being there as the moderator and moderating the entire session so that we end on time. Thank you, Sonal, so much. Please accept this certificate of appreciation. And the last person who's been spotlighting and admitting people in and out, muting, unmuting, and it's never easy. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Gunjan, for playing the role of the Zoom master today. Thank you to all the members who have been here. Also to our members from other districts, we heartily welcome you all. You can reach out to us on our social media handles, District 126. A recording of this video of this session will be put up on YouTube eventually, and it will be shared across all social media handles as well. Thank you everybody so much for your time. Happy designing. Until we meet again, I would now like to request our Sergeant at Arms to officially close the session.
Thank you, DTM Mayuri. And I thank each and everyone for giving us your time and coming out on the stage. And special thank goes to all the role players and the trainers, especially to make it happen. Well, friends, this is just the beginning. We will come back again with another episode of PR Masterclass. Till then, keep designing. This is Rajdeep, the Sergeant at Arms, for today's meet, officially closing the session. Now the stage is open for network.